guys, welcome to Box to Box Football. Now, on Saturday, I done lunchtime kickoff Liverpool versus Brighton. It wasn't about the game we were talking about. Of course, there were big controversies in the game, the disallowed goals, the penalty. But I think the most entertaining part of it was the Jurgen Klopp press conference with Des Kelly. But he seemed to be giving it to him. I think he was pointing at the wrong person, but he had a lot to say. He mentioned how he was angry about how Liverpool was just scheduled to be playing on a Champions League game on a Wednesday and then playing early kickoff on a Saturday, and then the way how the lack of 5 subs. But Jack, tell me what you think about this whole press conference and how Jurgen Klopp seems to be unhappy with everything that's going on now.
So for me, it's a matter of perspective, right? And the problem with this as well is it's not one incident where everybody's having their say. It's about 3 or 4 different topics which different people disagree with for different reasons. So for that reason, simply, it's very complicated, which is why I think the producer, who was probably in the ear of Des Kelly, was like, yeah, just keep talking to him. Let's keep hearing what he has to say. So first of all, I think the initial point for Klopp is I've got a really, really injured side. We've had less of a break because of the pandemic. And now my players are just going straight into a new season with, the squad's already injured as hell. And now you've got us playing over a short period of time. It's an away fixture, like all this stuff's going on. And Des Kelly quite rightly makes the point, well, Jurgen, that's not really up to you. And it's not really up to me. It's up to your CEOs and your directors for Liverpool. And really to then discuss with the broadcasters, right? So that's kind of one point. It's kind of separate. You start talking about the substitutes and about how three substitutes need to be played. But there was this recent vote for 5 substitutes coming in as well, and then it all just it's all a matter of perspective. So what I'll say as an example is Jurgen Klopp makes the point about I wanted to bring off Andy Robertson at the end of the game because I wanted to give him some rest and I didn't want him to get hurt. Now, for other coaches, and the best example I'll give is Manchester United don't start Paul Pogba. Even as a sub, I don't even think he was on the bench for this past weekend, I'm not sure. But if a team like Manchester United had 5 subs, of those 5 subs might be Mason Greenwood, Edinson Cavani, and Paul Pogba might be in there as well. Whereas a team like Sheffield United and Chris Wilder's team is probably going to be some academy British player who's not quite up to the same level. So there's that difference there, and that competitive edge you're missing. Klopp's point of view is I'm not trying to get a competitive edge here. I'm trying to protect my players and the health and the safety of my players. And the problem kind of becomes, well, James, you and I can agree here that there's probably about 7 or 8 teams who would love 5 substitutes because their brilliant depth of squad, the top 8 teams, can be used. Whereas those other 12 teams are like, guys, let's have them get hurt so that we get a shot to beat them in the weeks coming. But it was just very interesting to see Klopp, of all people, get frustrated, and obviously rightly to do so, over something that I think you would see is, I don't know, a build-up of issues, especially after the way the game ended.
Yeah, you're right. You can look at it from both sides. Of course, Klopp looks at his team right now, and you talk about a depleted side. Liverpool literally lost everyone, and it's not like we're looking at. Okay, again, you can look at the Virgil van Dijk issue, and you can point out that there was a freak accident, but majority of players are going down for muscular injuries. So he's got to a point right now where
Milner
went down with a muscular injury. Trent went down the other day. Henderson was struggling with a muscular. Every single one of their players right now seems to be struggling with injuries, plus COVID now. So he's got to a point. He's just fed up, and he wants something to be done. And it's been something that's been going on for a while. Ollie mentioned it the other day with Manchester United when they went to Everton, and that was quite understandable because, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Manchester United got back on a Thursday. They got back on a Thursday. They trained on a Friday.
It was an away game, maybe in the Champions League. Yeah.
And a away game in Turkey, and then they got back on Thursday, and then Friday they trained. Saturday early kickoff. I totally understand where he's coming from, fixture point of view. But the 5 substitutes, it's like you got like he has to look at it from every one side. You know, there's 7 teams in the Premier League that would love that. Arsenal, Tottenham, yes, but it's not going to work for the rest of the football teams. And a lot of people argue you have the best players, you just deal with it. I would rather have a Jurgen Klopp side than have a Sheffield United side at this moment in time, even with injuries.
But I think the thing that really annoyed me about it is there's lots of stuff about Jurgen, you're selfish, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, he's the manager of Liverpool. He's going to do what's best for Liverpool. It's nothing. Every manager, every player, every coach, every physio, every club doctor, scout, whatever, of course they should be selfish. Their team's trying to win. If Klopp decides to do this whole, let's do what's right for Sheffield United, do you think that's going to help elevate Liverpool to winning leagues and Champions Leagues and doing well in the transfer market and not having injuries and all this stuff? No. It's not up to Jurgen Klopp to look after Chris Wilder and Chris Wilder's players or any other players in the Premier League. To call Jurgen Klopp selfish, you know, Chris Wilder should fire it back on himself. It's selfish of Wilder to want some of these Liverpool players to be exposed to potentially greater injuries. We could have seen, who's the Greek fullback that Liverpool signed? Tsimikas, right? Kostan, whatever. We could have seen him. There's no competitive advantage for having him over Andrew Robertson. You're protecting a footballer, and that's Klopp's job. I think to be a football manager or even a football player, you are inherently selfish for your team. You know what I mean?
And I also think that I don't know if he did that intentionally, but I feel like he's deflecting away from the result because Liverpool. I don't think that they did enough to win the game because I feel overall Brighton probably should have won the game. They had the first half, they had enough chances. They missed the penalty. Mope goes off, and obviously they get the penalty. But right now there are deficiencies in this Liverpool team. I think Jurgen Klopp can also talk in the way he is, can take the pressure away from his players and bring it back onto BT or the Premier League, who's making the decisions right now, because it's rightfully so. This Liverpool team, like, you talk about getting shot in the foot, they have been shot on a different level. I've never seen it. Pardon?
Both feet.
Literally. But guys, tell me what you think. Is Jurgen Klopp right? Should there be 5 substitutes in the Premier League? Should teams who play on a Wednesday then have the right to play on a Sunday? Let us know. Comments down below, guys. Box to Box Football. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time.